Hello, hello, hello. Good evening to our Sunday night live chat, episode 50, that we delayed um, due to the sad news, obviously, that we had about Martin this week. So we did a Wednesday night live, and it went down well. So thank you to everybody that joined us for that, and thanks to the lads that were online as well. Seems strange being here tonight without our mate. Uh, Phil, Luke has lost his phone, so Luke can't make it. Bryan will be half an hour late, and we've been trying to get Shaun to join us, who is Martin's son or stepson, to join us, but he's having a few tech problems. He wanted to come online and say thank you to the lads and to everybody on behalf of the family. But we'll get that resolved at some point, and it may be that I have a word with Shaun offline, and we bring him on at a later date if he can't sort it. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm joined this week by Phil. Good evening, Phil. Gary Hyder. Good evening, Gary. Ramblings, Boggling Mayhem. Oh, and Moz is delivering equipment and so forth for his other job that he does. So he may pop in later on. So it's going to be a bit of a revolving group team this week. We'll see who turns up. But what we thought we'd do, we've got a few things quickly to say. We're going to do an interview with Gary, like we've done with other people in the past, and get Gary to introduce himself, what he does, and we'll talk a bit about plastic kits. And Gary's going to come up and join us, we hope, at the March 28th event in Swad. And our greetings to everybody that's in the chat. Good to see you all. Welcome back, Smurfy. I think that's Michelle. Bless you. Who is Shaun's partner. All right. First things first. We have set up a Just Giving page. You can access it via the group Facebook page. So far, after only 2 or 3 days, it's raised £197 for Martin's favourite charity, which is his dog's charity where he had his rescue dogs from. So, again, on behalf of us and the family, or the family and us, thank you to everybody that's donated. We'll keep it open. Smurfy is Shaun, loads of laughs. Sorry, Shaun. We'll get these problems fixed, Shaun, and we'll try this again at some point. Don't worry, mate. But it was good to chat to both Shaun and Michelle. I've been in constant, every other day speaking to Verna. She's okay. Obviously, the family are deeply, deeply upset, but they're holding it together. Bless them. And they've only got a shout, and we'll do whatever we can to help them out. I'm going down to see Verna on Sunday and hopefully meet Shaun and Michelle and Verna and do Ron and Tilly and the family. So that's something to look forward to. So we'll just check in with Phil. How you doing, Phil? What you been up to, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, PJ. Managed to get, although a little bit late, the Dinky restoration
Let
for
me.
the challenge up. The little 3D printed canopy on the back.
That's brilliant, mate. Love it.
Yeah, the Dinky.
Love it.
I got that one done, the Land Rover, and my daughter bought me something during the week. Get it right way around. Kit build, Hot Wheels,
Nice.
custom built 90 Civic. Obviously, you get the Hot Wheels car with it, and 248 pieces to build. Kit, I think it's very similar to the quick builds, so it just all snaps together, no gluing required.
Yeah.
Other
Looks
than
nice,
that,
actually, mate. I like the idea that you get the car with it. That's
yeah.
a cracking idea, that is.
I think there's a few of them, different ones, but obviously with me collecting these Honda Civics and the European stuff,
Yeah.
it's handy ones. I don't think that car, that particular one, is available in the regular version. So
Right.
yeah, that's
Nice.
that's it. So other than that, I've not really done much. I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's been
Strange old
uh,
week. Bit of a
it's been
strange
a
week.
it's been a kicker, mate, this week. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
I have been sat at my desk doing quite a bit of photo editing for people as well, though.
Yeah,
Like
do you want to show the photos that you've done? Are you able to do that? Share them.
give me a minute. I might have them to hand.
Yeah, these are AI photos that we've shared with the family as well that Phil's done. Bless him. So I'll put it on big screen and then no, put him straight under pressure, like bless him.
No, it's all right. It's just a matter of getting to my own page, so they're on there, aren't they? There we go. So we have. So that was one, wasn't it? That was
Yeah,
the. It's a cross between AI and Photoshop,
Yeah.
and that's what it was based on.
it's brilliant. That is.
Yeah, based on that one. And I'm not actually sure what I've done with the other ones. I don't think they're on there actually. Those for in memory of Martin. I think I pinged past most of them to Moz. But I think everybody's seen those ones, haven't they?
Yeah, but I like that. Vernie said to me, "Where can I get that model?" The model, bless her.
Well, I'll hand it over to you guys now, and you can 3D print them.
Yeah, we just need our detailed painter, like, you know what I mean. But that was fantastic, mate. It made everybody laugh. Well done,
Yeah,
well done.
I think that's what we need now, isn't it? And
Yeah,
nobody'd have wanted it to drag on, and everybody be miserable and all that.
yeah.
So
It's not what Martin would want. No.
exactly that.
Yeah. He he would have laughed. He would have. Yeah. Sorry, we're a bit scriptless this week, but we're going to do an interview with Gary to do this, and while I find some stuff to talk about in the background, so we'll crack on with that first, and then if Laz and Bryan join us, they can chip in. So, Gary, do you want to? Have you actually got a YouTube channel, Gary, or is it?
I do, but I mainly post photo builds. As I said, it's what's typed underneath my name.
Yeah,
My YouTube channel, YouTube name, stroke YouTube channel is Gremlins Modeling Mayhem.
Alrighty, mate.
As I say, people that know me more sort of long term know I'm a little bit scatty, crazy. Hence why the modeling and mayhem and gremlins sort of thing.
We've gotten to. Gary's become a good friend. We've gotten to know him over the last 2 or 3 months in the tavern, and he's hopefully going to be our second. I'll dump this on him, whether he likes it or not. Second plastic kit specialist. We just need to balance it out a bit, because we've got me, Phil, Bryan, Laz, Luke. Luke will be back. He's lost his phone, so unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do about this. So we haven't lost him. He's lost his phone, and he hasn't been able to get a new one yet. So we're working on that with Luke. Although I've been in touch with him, but he's all fine. Don't worry, no concerns. So Gary, here we go.
Right.
We've got 10 questions just to briefly touch on with Gary, and so it gives him a bit of an introduction. And what inspired you to become a plastic kit builder?
Right. This time around, it was basically getting back into the hobby during lockdown. I actually first started back when I was about 7, 8. My parents took me, my sister, to Hamley's on Regent Street, which is quite a famous toy shop, and picked up an Airfix kit. I think it was a Mirage, and with my dad and me, we sort of tried to put it together. It ended up with more glue marks and thumbprints or anything like that, and I think it ended up in the bin. But that was the start of the bug, as they say.
Right.
I carried on building probably for about 7 years till I got to my mid-teens, building everything from a little bit of armour, ships, but primarily aircraft, World War II, and modern stuff. As I said, I got back into the hobby during lockdown, which was like 2020, 2021, something like that, and I've basically been at it since.
Okay. Just a quick interjection. Sorry, spoil the flow. For those that want to leave a message, Shaun, Martin's stepson, is in the chat. So, by all means, leave a message. But we'll put them up as and where we go, as we go along. Can you share some of the most challenging? Now, bear in mind this was restoration, so we're swapping restoration for plastic kit. So, can you share some of the most challenging projects you've worked on, and how you've overcome difficulties?
Right. Means getting up for a moment. I'm going to get the big beastie. Right. Right. I will bring this across if I can keep it in camera. This is a kit that I've had for nearly 5 years now. Let me click it back. That's better. When I first got it, I knew I wasn't ready build-wise. But once I got skill-wise to build it, I wasn't ready to paint it until now. So this has been a challenge to actually build something this size, which is probably the biggest thing I've built, bar a ship. That's challenged me both technically modelling and technically painting.
Yeah. Okay. What types of plastic kit do you like to specialise in building?
I'm primarily an aircraft builder, though I do dabble into cars and ships.
Okay.
And as Phil showed a recent add to his collection, I got this yesterday. This is one of the kits I actually built when I was about 12. Made an absolute mess of it because we're using hot, sticky enamel paint. So you had to leave things for days to dry. So I hope to hopefully in the next few months revisit it and rebuild it.
And the caveat to that is, do you have a favourite era or brand that you enjoy working with?
I mainly build Airfix, but like most plastic modelers, I do build other manufacturers, like the big black thing, the Blackbird. That was Rebel. I'm currently working on a Tamiya Tomcat. But I do have a trumpeter, which is a Japanese company ship, and a few other odds and sorts of scale companies, like the Ukrainian company called ICM, and a New Zealand company called Kotar,
Right.
which was formerly known as Wingnut Wings.
There it is.
I mean, there's only three of us on today, so it is a little bit difficult, like you mentioned, PJ, for content. But just going back to your airfix ship there, Gary,
Mm-hmm.
is there? I mean, you say you've built it previously, and you're looking forward to it again. Is there anything that's kind of that you're going to come across and you're going to have to deal with, like the hulls not joining up, or there's common defects with it, and you've already got an idea of how you're going to tackle those?
Yes. Fortunately, this particular boxing is quite an old boxing, so the tool or the moulding, but the tool moulding isn't as worn as I've got the Bismarck up there, and that is a 60s original tooling, and it's been moulded that many times it's starting to warp. So that one's going to be a fight. Like there's a classic tool ship everybody wants to build, but no one will touch the new version of what they call HMS Victory, because it has been tooled and produced that many times. It's awful.
Is there sorry,
The plastic seats and all sorts.
is it a myth, or is there any truth in being able to dip warped parts in warm or hot water?
Depending on the warpage. If it's like totally bananaed, warm water, then a bit of weight may do it, but it all depends what type of plastic. Some of the older plastics are quite hard, so they don't respond as well.
So, okay, just before, Shaun, can you hear us? No, he can't hear us. He still can't hear us. No, damn. Okay. So that just for those that don't know, this is Shaun. This is Martin's lad, Martin and Werner's lad, and we've been trying to get him on, but unfortunately his sound and speakers aren't working for him. So we'll try and bring him in if he can get it sorted. Can you hear us, Shaun? No. Yeah, he's talking. Can't hear him. We can't. Yeah. Can you hear us? No. So, okay. We'll carry on. Sorry to interrupt you, Gary.
Is that right?
This is all a bit south now. Are there specific tools or techniques that you find particularly effective or innovative in the plastic kit area?
Well, as I was saying, when I first started, especially back into the hobby back in 2021, I was still a brush painter then. So learning to airbrush has been a revelation. My work quality is actually vastly improved because you can actually apply paint much thinner than you can with a brush at times. So I would say that's probably the biggest innovation that I've discovered since coming back into the hobby.
Okay. Apparently Shaun can hear us, but it's just we can't get his mic working. So thanks, Michelle, for letting us know. Michelle's in the chat, who's Shaun's partner. How do you source replacement parts for vintage or rare kits? Do you find challenges getting authentic parts?
Right. As Moz might say, when sometimes they bring out a kit that you've got and it's got spare parts, say like in a vintage classic, you can transpose parts. Other times, you have to go back to what they call scratch building. basically getting things like plastic card, resin, finding someone who can cast resin for you to replicate those parts. So the more the older the kit, the harder it is to get the parts.
Okay. How do you play? So it's question 7. Can you share any memorable stories or experiences from your time as a kit builder, perhaps involving a particular unique or sentimental project?
Right. A few years ago, we lost a great supporter in the plastic hobby. A lady, I never met her, but I knew of her through chats on different YouTube channels by the name of Wendy Hickson. And it was decided within the community to do a memorial build. And I found that doing something like for someone who's sadly passed and doing a memorial, I found was a satisfying way of honouring that person.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to find the questions for the other part. In your opinion, what sets apart a well executed build from your time as a builder? And what aspects do you prioritise?
Well, to make the build good, it's making sure when you actually do the construction, you take your time and make sure when you're about to join parts, you dry fit things first to make sure that actually there's no gaps, everything closes up, everything aligns correctly.
Yeah.
That's in the construction phase. In the actual finishing, which is basically painting, weathering, etc., applying the markings, it is a case of applying patience, not rushing, not trying to get things to be done too quick, because you can actually make mistakes. So that's why they say less haste, more patience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always puts me off that though. I mean, you look at these ships that you guys build and the railings and the masts, and I'm thinking with my fingers, I'm just going to snap those masts off, break the railings. It looks so delicate.
Yeah, a lot of the modern ships feel have what they call photo etch railings, so they're basically metal. So it's a lot harder to snap them off. They may knock off because you break the super glue bond, but that's easy replaceable, sort of repairable. When some ships first came out, the first ship I built was the Shaun. I must have been about 14. And that had plastic railings, so that was a challenge. Now the ship I'm building at the moment, which is the Royal Oak, has all the metal railings on.
Right.
So that's going to be interesting for me because I'm not that experienced using what they call photo etch, and I haven't built a ship in 40 odd years. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. But I'm planning to try and get it done for end of November, so I'm not going to rush it. It's going to be 1 weekend off, 1 week on.
Yeah, and how long do you think it'll take you in total?
I reckon I can. It's considered the ship is an old. The actual ship, Royal Oak, was a World War One ship. She's quite small. She actually fits quite comfortably on a A2 cutting mat.
All right.
So she's less than 2 foot long.
It's still a hefty size model, though, isn't it?
It's going to struggle getting her in the air booth, in the spray booth, because the spray booth's only about 40 odd centimetres long. So it'd be like the Blackbird, sort of shove one end in, paint that side, shove it in, turn it around, shove another end in, and sort of paint it again.
It's still a fair size kit, though, isn't it? It's still a big model.
It's if you hang on a sec, I will just get the hot. I have made the starter.
Evening, Brian.
Evening,
Good
Brian.
evening. So late on parade.
It's all right. Don't worry.
Right. Oops, let's get it on camera. Oops. There. That's just the hole.
Very nice.
And that's last weekend's work.
I'm not going to chat DPT and find the bloody questions.
Good evening, Brian.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening to everyone in the chat as well.
Okay. Distribution techniques. Sorry, this has all been kind of rushed tonight, so apologies, it's all going a bit south. We're desperately trying to get Shaun on. Bryan's just disappeared.
Yeah, I just got booted.
Booted.
Booted. While we're here, I'm going to just say huge thank you to Phil. He managed to. Those regular watchers will know that I've been after an Alfa Romeo GTV6 in Hot Wheels. Well, I haven't got one now. I've got three because Phil very kindly located them and sent them to me with a few other bits and pieces. So thank you very much, Phil.
All right.
Okay. What else do we have? How do you stay updated on the latest trends, techniques, and materials in the plastic kit world? And are there any ongoing challenges in the field?
As a saying, there are techniques. There's always new techniques. There are always new fads. Not all of them work for everybody. And I try to be a bit more of a traditionalist, but I am trying to expand my techniques, like weathering models, making them sort of look a bit more worn, not just come out the hanger being painted. So they look like they're a bit more beat up, a bit more used. I built back end of last year the old Hella version, but in Airfix box of the Jaguar. You talk about warpage. I got lucky with that one. I actually got two fuselage shafts that actually went together. Other times they're like bananas. And I literally, because it's a served in the desert, I literally weathered it with different oils, pigments, washes to make it look like it had been battered by sand.
Alrighty. And with
I thought this is Gary's 10-question initiation.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
right.
Yeah, you got the funny. You get the funny handshake after this as well, Gary.
Yeah.
That's the waiting person.
No. You do have to walk behind the goat, though. Apparently.
And I've lost. This is all going so badly wrong. I'm trying to find our scale model questions. The last one was. Please bear with me a moment. File. Build dates. Shit. The last question. Oh well. Obviously, the last one is, what's your favourite build, Gary?
Ooh, that is interesting, because sometimes you think what you built last is your favourite build. But there's two kits I've built from the last sort of a year, 18 months that I've actually entered into group builds competitions and have actually been placed in competition. So I would actually class those as probably my two favourite builds.
Well, we have to play this by them. You know what, mate? Thanks for that. cover my butt a bit there. We got to kind of make this up on the fly because we were talking about the second part of the conversation was going to be about scale. And I'm just trying to remember, Phil, some of the questions that we had about scale. So, from a diecast point of view, to Bryan and Phil, and then we'll come back to Gary. Which is your favourite scale to work on as a restorer, not necessarily a collector, but as a restorer? And do you find difficulties depending on the scale of the model?
Well, I think we're both a bit biased. Both Phil and I both are both Matchbox. Big fans of Matchbox. The bigger models are obviously a lot easier to handle and deal with. But if I could only restore one, it would be Matchbox.
Yeah, as Bryan said, I mean, I don't really go much larger, if you like, in scale than the 143s. And that's how I got into restoration. I was buying the Dinky, the Stripey, the Magic Mini, or getting those in absolutely battered condition and doing my own decals for them, because it is predominantly a decal covered Mini. It's on every flat face there's a stripy decal, so yeah, I was doing them, and then that got me into the early 1 to 75 range Matchbox regular wheels, if you like, as opposed to the super fast, and they're kind of like 1 in 64 and smaller, aren't they? So they're my two scales, really. I don't venture much away from those.
Me personally, I started. I think when you're learning restorations, it's easier to do something small that's usually one colour that you can. That doesn't take a lot of time, especially you've got restrictions with tools and things like that. But then you then move on. I mean, I like working on 143 scale, as I think John said in the chat, because you can, you can do a lot more detailing. You can fabricate parts. You can do scratch building on as well, and bolt on bits and bobs. Even to the extent now where I've started making, I'm going to go, thanks to Luke, replacement wheels and tyres, which came out quite nicely on the BMW. So
yeah, it's very nice.
They weren't the original wheels; they were 3D printed. And then there's a part of the where have I put it? Oh, here he is. There's a part of the latest DSMC challenge. Well, I actually
very nice
3D print radio transmitter and camera on the.
Does that pick up Sky?
probably got better broadband than I have.
So, with regard to the little ones, PJ, this is something Martin used to bang on about quite a bit. The thing with the little Matchboxes, it's the detail. Once they're stripped, the actual detail in those little models. I mean, that's one that I did this week. I did show it in the tavern, but obviously this is just, am I the wrong way around? Am I the right way around?
Yeah, I think it's.
I think your camera's mirrored, so
yeah. I don't know if PJ can deal with that. It looks weird.
There we go. Try again.
There you go. So there's the little evening news, all done. Now, as you can see, I had a little bit of problem with the decals. The only thing with these small ones, there's another one coming as well, PJ, I can show you. The decals themselves can be a bit of an issue. I've still not quite got there with these. That was done with a cocktail stick, and Fraser Martin said to me, "Oh, you should have shown the other side." Well, I did, because the other side was just as bad, because I caught that with a cocktail stick as well. So that's the only thing. Obviously, with these sausage fingers, doing little things like that can get a little bit tricky. And the third one was the little tipper truck. It just come out rather nice. Quite pleased with that. With the little it's that way, isn't it? Yeah, with the little tail. It does lift up. There you go. Anyway, yeah.
Do you top coat your decals before you apply them then?
Well, you know what they said, that with laser you don't need to, but I've found that if you don't, that you get the same problems you would do with inkjet, because
Yeah,
the first
I
lot,
always give it 2 coats at least. I give it a quick coat, and then once it's almost dried, I give it another coat. And all those ones I did for Moz, Martin, and I give
keeps dropping
some to
out.
Luke, didn't I, for the brake calipers. They all got a couple of coats of lacquer on before.
Well, the very first set that I did, when I immersed them in water, they were fine initially, but when I started trying to do the old cotton bud rollout, there was stuff coming off onto the cotton bud. So I knew pretty soon that all the rest I had to lacquer. So I did that. So I lacquered them a couple of times. But as I say, I just think I might have not got the greatest decal paper, because although, as I say, sausage fingers and a bit ham-fisted, I wasn't exactly rough with them, but the cocktail stick went through, well, virtually exactly the same place on both sides.
Yeah, I'm going to Gary scale.
Yeah, you took about decals failing when you've not sealed them properly. We use this stuff. I don't know if you can bring me up, Mark, bigger.
Let's just.
Oops. Try and get it so it reads. It's a thing called microcell liquid decal film. Restores old decals, make custom decals, and it basically what it does is, like where you're putting the lacquer on your decals, it actually puts a film on the decals, so it actually seals them. So you might want to try that, Bryan, rather than when
Cool.
they're off.
Yeah, I'll look out for that. Thank you.
Then put the decal on top. Then put a lacquer on top afterwards.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, it was. I've been using Tamiya paints, so trying to get a decent match has been quite tricky. The blue and the yellow one that you saw, they were aerosols, but I have been sort of mixing. I have been mixing Tamiyas just to see how close I could actually get. I was very lucky. That's an AA yellow. That one actually, that's come out AA yellow, so that was okay. And this was, I think this was a Ford blue. This one. I took up Martin's challenge of heading off to the range, because they've got a decent selection of aerosols. So, and luckily I had the red and yellow from the previous on the tipper. There's about 5 or 6 vehicles that got those 2 colours, so I already had those. So. The next is the boot and the airbrush out.
John's asking Gary, how do you get glue off windows, Gary?
Ooh. That is one of the hardest ones. Most of the times you're going to have to polish it off. If you spot it when you've initially done it, you might be able to get it off with isopropyl alcohol straight away. Then it may stain a little bit. Then you need a different, like you do with windscreens. Just polish them, and it comes off that way.
Let's see if that might be Shaun again trying to just bear with me.
Now you've got that liquid glue, the Tamiya extra thin. John, what you really need to do is kind of dry fit your glass into the frame, and then literally just hit the edges, so that it sort of what's the word, Gary? That's it, capillary reaction, and it will go right the way around the frame of the window, and that way you shouldn't get too much on your glass itself, John. Literally just touch it where it meets the plastic. So the glass where it meets the plastic in 2 or 3 spots, and it will run right the way around.
Yeah. Let's just try this again with Shaun. I think you can hear us, Shaun, but I don't think we can hear you. Do you want to just try to say something?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Michelle? No, we're having no joy with his audio, unfortunately. Damn.
Yeah, because Moz, with regards to John, Moz had sent John a Land Rover to build. Moz suggested when I was on his live on Wednesday that I get one and do a build along with John. But he's actually built it. But he's actually going to get a second one so he can actually do that. So I can actually do it on my camera, so you can actually watch me build it, so you can actually see how I do things.
That'd be really good. That'd be really good.
And the offer's open to anybody else that does plastic that are struggling. I will help do as they call them. Was it webinars?
Webinars, yes.
Yes, because as you know, I'm set up for heads down and face up broadcasting.
Okay, I'm going to. I've just. Apologies, this has been done on the hoof. So I've just generated 20 questions like for scale. So if some of these don't make sense, apologies. If you had to stick to one scale, I guess more to Gary than us. What scale would you stick with, Gary?
Now that's the enigma, because depending on the size of the subject you're building in real life, this is where it gets complicated. You can get airliners in what they call what they tend to do in 1 to 144th, which is basically for every 1 inch is 12 foot on the original, or 12 inches on the original item. So imagine you try and build an airliner in 70 seconds, and it'll take up a coffee table. Whereas military aircraft, because they're generally smaller in real life, they tend to be reasonable sizes in, say, 1/72nd, 1/48th, and now the scale, like the big Airfix super size, is 1/24th. So, which is basically for every one inch, it's 2 inches on the original, or 2 feet, so 1 inch to 2 foot, something like that.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, just to give you an idea of scale and difference. I actually prepped this ready. Right. You've got a pair of Spitfires, a 72nd Mark 5C, and a 48.
48th.
You can see the size differential. Same with a Hurricane. There's a 72nd Hurricane. There's a 48th Hurricane, and I'm holding them exactly the same distance from the screen.
Yeah.
As I was saying about aircraft sizes, if you just give me 1 second, like ships, they're the anomaly.
Hey, Russ.
There's about 6 different scales of ship, 6 or 7, starting from what they call waterline, which is basically 1/1200th, through 1/700th, 1/600th, 1/400th, 1/350, 200th. Now that's Concorde. That is in 144. That is a Spitfire. I'll just stick it on the wing in 72nd. Now you can see about the size differential.
Yeah.
That's
so the on the aircraft, a 1/72nd Vulcan, Gary, is huge, isn't it?
I've not built one, but I do believe it's about
It's probably as big as that Concorde.
Pardon? It's wider.
Yeah, it's probably as big as.
Well, a Vulcan probably wingspan's about that.
Yeah.
What's that? About a foot.
Yeah. It's a big old kit for a 172nd.
Actually, 72nd. You would never get. I don't think anyone.
If you had a 124th one, it'd be on the size of your living room, wouldn't it?
A 48 bucket Vulcan. It'd cost too much.
Yeah.
Because you've got to think about the amount of plastic it's going to cost to make it. And that's one thing. Where's that stuff? Hang on. What's that? Oh, it's all right. I wonder why my Hurricane was doing a cartwheel. B, it's a case of where you're going to put it.
Yeah. And it looks like a toy then, doesn't it, as well?
This is another thing about scale. The bigger you get it in plastic, like you saw the Blackbird, as I said, painting something that's primarily one colour is hard not to make it look toy-like.
Mm.
So that's why I said I had to get the skills to build it. I had that about 18 months ago, maybe 2 years ago, but I hadn't had the paint. I didn't have the paint skills. Only when I had both, I tackled it.
I like the fact that you've mentioned paint, Gary, because we have actually just digressed slightly with a question from, is it Henrik there, about your paint rack?
These.
And where did you obtain it?
Right. These are from a company called EBMA Hobby. If someone could, I think if Golden's in chat, he can probably put it up. You know EBMA, Golden. If you can put the link, put it up in chat. They're basically MDF, and you glue them together. And you can get different racks, different sizes. I've even got build stands for aircraft. So they do all sorts. See, I've even got paints. I've even got paint in here.
I've put the link in the chat, Gary, for EBMA.
Yeah, that's it.
Well done, Bryan.
Yeah, that's where I got them from, Henrik.
Let me just make sure we haven't missed any other questions. Okay, Garrett, but yeah, interesting point to mention. Yeah, so Shaun, unfortunately, is having problems. He can hear us. So if you want to refer any thoughts, condolences, messages to Shaun and Michelle, they're in the chat. Bryan beat me, says Gordy. So yeah, he's
pretty quick for a fat bloke.
Does he like beetroot then, the way you spelled that?
He's the one for our side, I guess. He's 1/64th, the best gateway scale for new collectors. So if you
probably the cheapest.
Yeah.
For collecting or for refurbing or?
No, for collectors.
Collectors.
I mean, I know you've got the likes of John. I love you, John, who likes his 1/43rd scale. But for my 10 pence worth, it's room. You know, if you're collecting, you've got to be able to stack them. You're taking over the front room, the living room, the dining room, the kitchen. You've got them in your bathroom.
Right.
Talking about Mr. Hulley again.
I mean, they're much more obtainable. I mean, every supermarket shop, you'll get a Matchbox, Hot Wheels. There's even these Majorette have just released a load of a new series of cars, but
you say about storage. I've had to move. You see the cabinet behind me? That was getting overloaded because the 48s were taking up too much space. I've had to move those into another room.
I mean, I guess it's if you live on your Todd, you could take over whichever rooms you want to take over, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're in the bottom of the bed.
But the other thing with scale, PJ, is it's model specific, because like Gary was saying with the boats and the ships, they come in all different sizes. Pretty much, you can get tanks at 1/72nd, but most tanks, or the bigger brands, tend to be 1/35th. Cars tend to be 1/24th. So there are sizes that are model type specific. Like Gary said with the airliners, because they're so bloody massive, you very rarely see an airliner that's bigger than one. They do them, but 1/44th. It's very rare to see an airliner bigger than that.
Yeah, as I say, I can't see, like, you get some manufacturers do a 1/32nd Lancaster.
Yeah.
Now, a Lancaster, I've got one, to be honest, I've got one at hand here. This is a 72nd Lancaster I built last year. And, oops, that's 72nd. Now, you imagine a 32nd will be double, a 36 will be double that. So you're talking about...
Yeah, not small kits.
They are basically coffee table models.
Yeah.
Or museums. That's basic museum scale, 32nd. Even a 48 scale Lancaster is going to be massive.
Well, look at that Mustang.
The new BF 109, the Spitfire. I just don't have the space. Now I am pushing myself. I've got up there. I've got two 1/32nd aircraft, which are. Well, one's mid-war, sort of interwar, which is a Tiger Moth. The other is a German aircraft that fought in Second World War. And it's not going to be that big. They're going to be big, but not massively big, as in like the 24s are.
Well, you're almost getting to the size of remote control planes. You know what I mean? When you get that big.
Well, remote control aircraft, some of them are about 1/16th, 1/18th scale, some of these flying models.
Yeah.
Because you need the space inside the plane for the electrics, a fuel cell, possibly, batteries for the radio equipment.
Yeah. Right, no, Shaun, we haven't got a video of the Shaun, so he's really having difficulties, bless him. I'll talk with Shaun, and we'll try and get this resolved so that he can have a proper conversation with him.
You're saying, Bryan, about cars, 1/24th. If you're in America, it's 1/25th.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And,
yeah. As I say,
that one that Ozzy's doing that, but that
you get 1/20th. You get 1/12.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
Formula One.
Well, that
cars,
Mustang.
1/20th.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the Mustang that Mozzy's doing, I think that's 1/12, isn't it?
No, that Mustang is 1/6.
1/8. 1/6. There you go. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to go and get. I'm not going to do my shoulder any more harm. But I've got a 1/8 diecast Ghostbusters car next door.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's a piece of work, that is.
And it weighs a sodding ton.
But even the smaller kits, PJ, I mean, there you go. Look, that's a Harrier that I've got. That's in my stash, right?
Yeah.
That's just a Harrier jump jet. That's 1/72nd scale. And that's a big kit.
That will build up to. If I just. You see the size of the box. This is that's a GR. What's that? GR9 or GR7, Bryan?
GR7.
Well, this is a GR9. So you can see that's the size you're going to get.
Yeah.
And that one's brush paint. That's one of my last brush painted models in Nordic.
Well, I did.
It looks like one of the bombs it wants to detach.
I don't know why it keeps dropping out. I've no idea why it keeps dropping out, PJ. But I was exactly the same as you, Gary. When I came back to plastic modelling, I actually just went through a phase of just making the models, not painting them. just getting back for the feel for actually making them. So I think I did I made 3 models where I didn't paint a single thing. I was just that could get the construction right again, without glue everywhere and everything.
As I say, in about 30-second cars. This is the one I won a second place with.
Nice.
Which is basically an MG K3 magnet from about 1930s.
Is that the Matchbox Classic range?
No, it's an Airfix one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It came in a set of what they call model builders set. It came a Spitfire, an A4 Skyhawk. Most people probably remember the A4s, basically out in the Falklands, and the Angel Interceptor. But the problem with the Angel Interceptor is rub-on transfers. So I'm looking for someone who can scan the sheeting and make me a water slide set.
I can do that, mate. That's not a problem. I've got a scanner, obviously laser printer, so I can do all that. That's not an issue.
We'll talk later then about that, then, bro.
Yep, no problem.
Let's move on. For display impact, is 1/18 unbeatable or overrated?
Say that again.
I mean, what's our, the biggest we go to usually, is it 1/25 that we have? When we do the big cars.
I think it goes up to 1/18 in Burago. I think is the biggest ones. Yeah.
That sort of size.
12 inches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bryan's having broadband problems.
Yeah, because a friend of mine's just finished the General Lee, and that's about that, and that's 1/24th, 1/25th. God, it was a god awful kit. It's fought him everywhere.
What's the biggest one you've got, Phil?
Kit model.
Rest of the diecast.
Oh, I did a transporter, the king size, Matchbox king size, but other than that, everything's 143, not much bigger. Yeah. I've got the Slumberland and I think it's Heinz, Guy vans to do. Probably slightly.
There was bigger. 4 of them, wasn't there? There was the Castrol one and the Roundtree's jammed one as well, wasn't there?
I can't remember what it is. I think it's definitely the Slumberland. It might be Sprats actually. I've got.
Yeah. I've got 2 18ths, and they're currently in the hands of a dodgy Scouse bloke who's going to repaint them for me. Two Citroens. Got a Citroen DS and a Citroen 2CV that picked up, but I've got a Jag to do.
Took the Citroens. As I say, took the Citroens. I've got a 24th HY van to build.
Of course, Bryan's relating to our good friend Luke.
Mr. Luke. Yeah.
If
you painted properly.
He will be back. He hasn't sourced a phone yet, but he will be back. I spoke to Owen earlier on. How important is scale accuracy to you personally, regardless of what scale you're using? Obviously, as you, I can use the word obviously, as you get bigger, you can include more detail. But as Bryan was saying earlier on, even on the smaller models, when you strip them back, you uncover details that, as Martin used to say on a lot of his models, when you strip it back and polish it up, ready for painting, a lot of the details are uncovered.
Yeah. You'd probably find that a lot of them were semi-obliterated by the old school painting techniques.
Yeah.
It was literally they were mass produced, and they literally whoosh, probably with what we probably call 0.7, 0.8 needle. So it's literally flooding paint on, and when you flood paint on, you lose detail.
I mean, the smaller models for me, like the very small early Matchbox, they're much more forgiving when it comes to painting them.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Leslie's. They seem to. I remember their paints seem to be a lot more hard wearing than Hot Wheels were when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe so, but you say that, but the Matchbox paint, when you drop it in the caustic soda, comes off much easier than these more modern ones.
It's probably, as you say, Phil. It's probably the whatever was sprayed, like whatever compound was sprayed on to adhere the paint to the metal initially. But gave it that barrier, so when you wanted to strip it, it lifts easier.
The whole different process for painting. Now, no doubt they go through some sort of heat oven baking it on, don't they, and all sorts.
Well, I think a lot of them powder coating. Powder.
Is that what they do?
Like the old glass enamel technique, powder coated on, aren't they?
The old Matchbox enamels, they come off in like a skin.
Yeah.
Copy. I'm just going to copy this because I've just had a further update. We have now, I can't believe this, it's only been about 3 or 4 days. Once again, on behalf of Martin's family and us, thank you for those that have donated to the, I'll put it in the chat. Thank you to Martin's charity. We're now at £207 in 3 or 4 days. That's amazing. And I also want to give a shout out, excuse me, to other YouTubers that have done videos about Martin. Not necessarily all members of the DSMC, but there's been such a outpouring of love and respect, and wanting to get the word out. So again, I don't want to be the mouthpiece for Werner and Shaun and the family and Michelle, but the response has been incredible.
Yeah,
we're working in conjunction. Not working. We're trying to secure Martin's YouTube legacy, becoming curators of his channel, not adding to it, unless we announce that there's a Martin Dares event, that kind of thing. We won't be posting on there, but it's going to be, we'd like people to go and visit it. Please go and visit it, because you can learn so much. I know Moz was saying he'd gone right back to episode 1 of what Martin was doing, and he's re-watching all of his videos. You can learn so much. Might bring a tear to your eye. Me and Shaun were in pieces when we were talking to each other this afternoon. So yeah, once again, there's a link in the chat. By all means, if you feel inclined to do so, make a donation. It's going to Martin's favourite animal home, where he's had rescued dogs from in the past. Werner's got Tilly and Ron, or we call him Do-Ron, because Marty used to call him Do-Ron. By all means, leave a donation. Yeah, Bryan.
Can I add a little something to that as well, PJ? The thing with Martin's videos, and I've said this numerous times, there are a lot of almost perfect videos out there of restorations or recreations. Martin's weren't, and they weren't because if he made a mistake or if something went wrong, he included it. And the benefit of including it is when something goes wrong, and it will go wrong, if you start restoring things, it will go wrong. He gave you the wherewithal to actually fix what has gone wrong, because he didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't go back and say, oh, this is how it came out perfectly. He actually explained what the pitfalls were. And one of the things that he did on a regular basis was when he was breaking down a model, he would break down the model, and before he started the process, he would put the model back together again to make sure that he was fully with how it actually all fitted together. Because once it's all painted, you're going to get different tolerances, and he did all that to make sure that he knew exactly what went where and when. And a lot of the restorers out there don't do that. And that's why I think Martin's ones are going to be really beneficial in the future, because he did cover all that kind of thing. And also he had the lessons that he did. He did, I think there was about 6 of them that he did, where it was like the basic toolkit to get started, how to do this, how to do that, how to do the other. And they're brilliant. For anyone starting out, you can't do better, really.
I mean, people's attention span on YouTube, forgive me, I don't mean to insult anybody, but they'll skip through how did it start and how did it end up, and not necessarily do a lot of the watch a lot of the content in between, and you're missing so much. Missing so much. And Martin did get to the point where he did. We had this discussion when he was up here some months ago, and he'd not do the necessarily do all the spraying that he used to do in the past. And I said to him, "Look, you know, that person might be joining your channel for the first time, you know, and all of a sudden they want to know how to do everything, you know." So he then started to include a lot more detail again, which I think are his greatest videos. Removing chassis, axles, stripping paint, caustic soda, gel, priming, top coating, lacquering, decals, reassembly. There is a set process, and you know you can only do it so many times before everybody's seen everything. But the way he did it, I mean, one of his later videos where he screwed up, you won't forgive me for saying that, his intro about 4 times on the trot, and he just went, "I'd like to welcome," oh bugger, and then he went and did it again, and then he did it again about 4 times. He was doing it for, and he put all 4 versions of it up, and that's what made the man. He showed you. He showed you
Warts and all.
you know, he showed you warts and all, yeah. But he got so good at it that what he was able to do was just talk and do it. You know, he did cut bits out, but he didn't correct things. But it was all live as he was recording it. He recorded his voice straight into his videos, like where some of us are doing, you know, over text and voiceovers and all this kind of stuff. So he was brilliant for that. Shaun saying he was my stepdad. I'm my best friend. I miss him so much. We'd talk. I hope Shaun doesn't mind me telling this story that he shared with me earlier on. That they used to go remote control plane flying together, and Martin was the builder. Shaun was the flyer, but Shaun could get them to take off, and Martin landed them. And whenever he got a landing, he got a quiver in one leg, like as he was landing them. Bless him. And then Shaun, as much as me and Shaun were blubbering, he had me in stitches as well with some of his stories of Martin. And hopefully, when we can get Shaun online, he can share some of his stories with us. And so there you go, a bit of story sharing. I mean, somebody said, sorry, I missed it. Sorry, I didn't miss it. I saw it and I didn't link it. I think it might have been. So John saying, I make 143 Pro Mod metal kits, Nigel.
Yeah, there was a question from Nigel asking, does anyone make white metal kits?
Yeah.
And John did ask, what do people think of metal kits as well?
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Nigel? Have you done any white metal kits? Sorry, Nigel, Gary. Have you done any?
But I have a kit that does have a little bit of white metal in it. as a replacement parts. It's from a strange manufacturer, so I'm in an hurry when I get around to it. It's put me off a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, do you get with the white metal kits? Do you get the now what do you call them? Not decals, the metal insert photo etch.
No, that's something different. Not photo etch. Photo etch is usually wafer thin brass. White metal is usually like they make undercarriage legs out of it.
Right.
Maybe cockpit tubs. Things
Yeah.
like
When we were at Stafford, PJ, there were several dinky white metal kits. There was a couple of double decker buses.
Yeah.
There was a couple of trucks as well, and effectively they're almost like the diecast model, but in white metal.
Yeah.
I've got somewhere in one of the boxes. There's a lot of boxes. I've got a Vauxhall Viva van. That's I think it's a pro mod. Anyway, it's some company. It's a white metal one. So you've got the two sides: the roof, the base, the doors at the back, and the bonnet, and it all goes together.
The problem with white metal, sometimes they use such a cheap base metal to make it. It can be quite soft.
Yeah. I've just seen that we've been joined in the chat by Nigel Ford. I had again, I just want to reach out and say thank you to everybody who's contacted me with support and, well, contacted us, not just me, contacted us with support and kind words, what have you. And Nigel was a big friend of Martin's, and Nigel specialises in lorries, units, and that kind of thing. And he was working on a couple of models for Martin, and didn't get a chance to give them to Martin. And they were working between them. And Nigel was saying, "Do you want this? Do you want this kind of paint job? Do you want these accessories, etc., etc.?" And the other night, we were fortunate that Nigel joined us in the tavern, and he showed us his collection of lorries
Wow.
that he'd done.
Yeah, just
And I
wow.
swear to God, it was like
I missed that bit.
it was a like Ian Holly. It was like a museum of these vehicles. And Nigel said, "I've got these two models. What would you like me to do with them?" Now, I have to caveat that with Nigel's. It will stand the cost of the builds, but they are high quality. High quality vehicles. The amount of work that Nigel's put into them. So we're either going to. I'm going to have a. Nigel's coming down to my house on Wednesday. We're going to have a chat about it, and we'll either have an online auction or at the SWAT event, we'll put, put a reserve price on them. And Nigel, I believe, wants to donate that to Martin, which is a. If you see the quality of the vehicles, it's a fantastic gesture. Fantastic gesture. So, shout out to Nigel. Thanks, mate, for getting in touch. It was a pleasure meeting you. First time that Nigel had, I think, done that kind of thing. He took a leap of faith with us in the tavern, and I think he. Well, I hope he enjoyed it. I think he did. He did come back and say he had a good night. So we hope to see him again. John's saying they were beautiful. They were. And Nigel's saying, and restore 150 scale lorries. They're amazing. They're amazing, and a lot of brands that some of us never heard of as well. Which
the only ones I was aware of pre that were the Corgi super haulers that you quite often see at fairs and things. But these were next level, weren't they?
It was. It was. Some models can. how do I put it? I'm going to be gentle what I say. Some models can look like toys. Some models can look like miniature real vehicles, if that makes sense. These look like miniature versions of themselves. Even when I think Nigel said that it's scratch build. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, when he scratch built some, because Martin wanted a Scamel lorry, and it put Nigel to the test, I think. So
I think that part of the issue might be here, PJ, that when you log into Restream, you have to turn on your camera and you have to turn on your mic. If they're logging in, if they're logging in without doing that, then they're not going to hear or see stuff.
You have to. It depends what you're using as well. You have to allow your phone to. If you've got an iPhone, you have to allow your phone to use a particular application. So we'll get it sorted.
Yep.
You said about the details of these big trucks. As I say, how they're looking more like real. The more detail, the more intricate parts you put on it, it will stop it looking like toy-like. Because that's the difference. Toy-likes are quite basic, whereas a detailed build will not look toy-like.
Yeah. So did we cover, do you prefer larger scales for detail or smaller scales for space efficiency? We may have covered that.
But as I say, can I just add a caveat for the plastic thing? What detail maybe 5 years ago you got in 1/48, you are now getting in 1/72. I am currently building the Wessex.
Right.
That's in 72nd. It is the first air helicopter that Airfix in 72nd has done a tail fold and a rotor fold on. The amount of detail in the cockpit, you can either have the cabin doors open, closed, the main door open or closed. So the amount of options just in the 72nd kit, and it's that.
I'm going to sound really professional by using a new phrase. Is that due to new tooling, Nigel?
Yes.
Tooling
Gary, techniques.
Nigel, now. Gary.
Yeah, tooling techniques, design techniques. What you can now do in CAD, where you would have to do line drawing on a bit of paper, or even the early CAD, where CAD was, say, 10 years ago, is like Moses' stone tablets to a MacBook today.
Yeah.
To give it some sort of context.
Yeah.
Because as I say, getting back to detail, you also got the 3D resin parts that are getting printed now. That will also embellish detail.
Just on a side note to that, your lawnmower's printing.
One interesting development as well, PJ. Airfix have also announced that in future toolings, what they're going to do is you'll buy your kit, and part of the deal with your kit is that you'll get a download code, so that if you've got a 3D printer, you can print your own parts to go with it.
Yeah, they've just done that with the.
They're coming on to that now.
Yeah, they've just done the club kit.
Yeah, so they're moving on to that.
Yeah, because
that's a game changer. That will be.
Yeah, that 1970, so it does need a little bit of enhancement.
Yeah.
To bring it a little more up to date.
And if Airfix do it, you can pretty much guarantee that all the other manufacturers will follow suit.
Oh yeah. Well, Armour Hobby do it. The Polish company. You can either buy the parts for them or buy the file.
I think it's fair to say, Nigel, I haven't had I've had one experience with Airfix, but that was through MOS. That they're pretty good usually at replacing parts if you quote them the J code as I know it on the quick build kits.
Hang on, if I just get a box, where's the bloody? Hang on. You're talking about. You bring me up big. You might not be able to read it clear. Whoops. That's the important thing there. That sticker.
Yeah.
That is your batch number. Any problem with a kit, short shots, parts missing, broken parts that can't be repaired, when you contact, or if it's costing a service, you quote that number.
Yeah.
And where you bought it from.
No, it's like a product number or a
It's actually a batch number.
Batch number, yeah.
Yeah, but it basically tells you, like, what's this say? Right, it's got the kit number, probably the week of production, and the batch number. Looking at numbers on it, sort of thing. Putting my old logistics head on.
John's saying I've seen some resin kits that are good in 143.
Yeah.
It's amazing, John, but that I know going slightly off topic a bit, but then it's also question and answer things as well. It's amazing. I mean, some of the things that Luke's downloaded. Please go and visit Scale Customs, Luke's channel. The builds that Luke's done are awesome, and he's downloaded them. And I will caveat that again, using that word caveat, that paid for files are often a lot better than the free 3D files that you can download.
Yep.
Because of the level of detail, I've downloaded some 3D. They're called STL files for them that've got any interest in it. It's like downloading a .doc or a .xls, or if you're into computing. These are called .stl files.
Yeah, like your music and .flacs.
Yeah. You can go to Yegi, you can go to 3D Cults. There's loads of 3D printed websites out there. You can even purchase a pack. I purchased a pack, and me and Gary asked me if I could find him a guy pushing a lawnmower for a model that a diorama is doing. But the beauty of it was, if it depends how. It may take a couple of weeks for me to get the model to Gary, because Gary's coming up to visit, and it'll be a blessing to see him. What you can do now is go, PJ, can you get this? I'll have a look for it, Gary. I found it. I can show it to him, and he'll say, well, how much is that? And I'll say, but it's this, that, and the other. Puts it into PayPal, and I went and paid for it. Downloaded it and printed it, or printed it. I think it was in the space of 25 minutes, Gary, before it was from request to print. Like, by the time we'd done the dirty deed, it's something like that.
It was about 5 o'clock when we were doing a little bit of test, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that's a lot of the other side of what the DSMC do. We work together as a community to help each other out as best we can. Something I'm extremely proud of. If I'm being prideful, the guys don't need to involve me. The guys will have chats between themselves. Can I swap you this for that? Very often it's more of a swap than it is money. And we get together. When we get together for our live events, we have a car boot get together and swap parts and whatever you like. I think that's some of the best parts. When Martin was there, he used to look forward to that as much as going around the toy fair. The event we had afterwards, it was a twofold event. We'd go around the toy fair, then afterwards we'd reverse his cars together. Quite, I don't know if people thought, what the hell are them blokes doing? They just formed a circle, or the engines on the way, or something like. Bryan popped the table up, and we were away.
But I think that's possibly the greatest benefit of being a club member. For those that are teetering on the balance, you've got all these guys with different expertise, literally on call. If you've got a decal issue, you can speak to Phil, or you can speak to Andy. If you've got a paint issue, you can speak to Luke. obviously when Martin was around, you could pretty much ask Martin anything, and there would be an answer. But these guys they're not precious. You know, it's not like I know how to do this, but I'm not going to tell you. You know, everybody here is there to support everyone else, and it's one of the nicest groups I've ever encountered.
Shaun, we can see you. Hopefully you can hear us. Is your mic okay? Do you want to say something? No, it's still the mic that's the problem. I don't know. I'm going to kind of say to Michelle in the background, Michelle, I don't know how you do. I don't know what phone that Shaun and yourselves have got, but sometimes, go on, mate. Yeah, sometimes you have to allow the mic to be able to be used.
Just prior to coming into the room, you've got normally a little camera icon and a little microphone icon, and they've both got lines through them. So as you connect, you click on those before you connect, and that then allows you to speak.
Yeah. He's desperate to bless him. He's desperate to try and get on.
Yeah.
I'm gutted that he can't, but we'll get it worked out. Right. So sorry. This week we're kind of into still. It's almost like a Martin's appreciation part 2. So we're interspersed in a lot of that kind of thing. He's got a Samsung, so he's on. It's gone from me. The operating system on a.
No, Samsung's the model.
Yeah, but what's the operating system? It's not
Android.
Android.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the bloody word. Okay. Next question. How we do for time? We're all right. We've got about half an hour left. What's the most frustrating scale inconsistency you've encountered? Is it something that doesn't show up well with the model kits? Is it because the bigger you get, the more individual parts? I know Moz has always said, why didn't they have several parts to make one part on the sprue? If I'm getting that right. For us on the diecast part, and by the way, Gary, thank you for representing. You've been a lone wolf this week, but you've been brilliant. So thank you for doing this. We've added, for those that want to know, Gary, we've threatened, pummeled, grabbed, blackmailed, cajoled into becoming another member of our admin team, which I'm delighted with. It just gives us that scope that we don't know. We all do a bit of everything, but it's nice to have a specialist. I'm hoping to get a couple of the Warhammer boys online for the miniature models as well. So I've been speaking to the guys in the club over the road who do Warhammer models, and there's a guy called Ash I'm hoping to bring online. That'll be another one-on-one interview, and hopefully I'm a little bit better prepared. Just keeping it together this week and tying us over is a bonus. So yeah, sorry, ranting off on one. Most inconsistency you've encountered. Anybody think of anything?
Right. Can I just make a point? Right, you're talking about scale accuracy and inconsistencies. A lot of the Chinese companies, especially a company called Trumpeter, especially their aircraft, either overscale or underscale things. And they call it, they might say in the box a 148th. It might be a 146 or 150th. Because it's so much out of sync, what it should be. So yeah, sometimes you have to take it with a bit of a pinch of salt with what they say on the box.
So in a build, would they scale a missile down on a wing or something like that to
Possibly.
make it.
Yeah. The biggest thing where they have to underscale, especially like you get the EFX super kits, the 124 scale kit, is the engines. Otherwise, you will not get the cowlings on. If you did the engine to scale, the cowlings would be so thin you could hold them up to the light and you'd be able to see through them. They'd be literally like tissue paper.
Right.
So you sometimes have to make compromises. Right. I'm just having to go and restream myself, see if I can sort out what's going on with Shaun.
Okay. Phil, do you find any inconsistencies in the? I mean, you predominantly up until now, and stand me corrected, have collected a lot of Hot Wheels. Have you noticed over a period of time that details have got better, worse? You know, what's your thoughts on?
No, the funny thing
Detail.
about Hot Wheels, if there's any inconsistencies in detail, they tend to be kind of labelled factory errors, and everybody's after them.
The irony of that.
Yeah,
It's like the banknote
bizarre.
misprints, isn't it?
There's a couple behind me. I wasn't actually out looking for anything. I was just browsing. It was between different what do they call them, cases coming out, and I saw a grey Porsche, and there was something about it. I just couldn't put my finger on it. What was different? Anyway, I bought it anyway, and when I got it back, it wasn't until I got back and realised the actual Porsche decal along the body was missing. So basically, classed as a factory error, and it's gone up there on my wall. So, yeah.
Right, can I just interject for a second?
Yeah.
I think I might have worked out what's happening with Shaun.
Right. Okay.
Is he using a link in the message you sent him, and it's opening up in Messenger because it wouldn't let me connect my camera on my phone? I copied and pasted the link into Google, and I mean like that. I joined, but I've actually got the camera and mic working.
Okay.
So that could be the problem.
Yeah, he may have. I'm not sure whether he'll know how to copy it. So, technical support live online.
Switch it on and switch it on again.
Switch it on. Update it.
Yeah, because I tried clicking the link in the Messenger and it just kept going to message. I clicked allow and it was just blank. It wouldn't go past the click message. You click allow access camera and mic. And I've got a Samsung phone.
I'm determined to show. Hopefully I'm pleased. I'm hoping to meet. I think Bryan might come with me as well. Hoping to meet Shaun and Michelle next Sunday. So I will make a point of trying to show them, how to do this kind of stuff. So
yeah, it might be a cut and paste job, BJ.
I don't want them feeling left out. But fortunately, at this moment in time, they can use the chat and they can stay in touch. We do keep posting. I've posted in the photos that Phil did, and they're so happy with those photos that you did, Phil. To a point where I said earlier on, the one of the diorama, Verna wanted to buy it. It was that good. It was that good, bless her. And she said, "Can I have that? Can I have that as a model?" And I was trying to explain to her, he's not a model. It's a made-up, image.
If Phil sends me a copy of those, what I can do, high-res copy, I can print them off and I can frame one up for it.
Yeah.
And do that for Sunday.
I thought you were going to build it in plasticine then.
No, I'm not going to turn into bloody Wallace and Gromit. No, definitely not.
There's copyright issues there. If you start using images of people, you know that, don't you?
My big thing with regard to that model,
an AI program and animate it.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good, Phil. I don't know if there is an animated. There's your challenge. Animate.
Yeah.
Animate that diorama. We could have his own TV series.
I'll maybe show you that tomorrow.
In answer,
Brian.
yeah, absolutely. In answer to your question about things that are wrong with models, the one thing with plastic kits sometimes that I find, I'm sure Gary's encountered this, you build yourself a plane, and then what you'll find is, hey!
Way!
Hello, guys.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Got ya, but you're breaking a little
Turn
bit.
your volume down. No, I
Shaun,
did.
how are you, mate?
Yeah, I was trying to use the link, and it would give me the camera, but no microphone. Was it Moz or Phil? Gary? Somebody said type it into Google, and it worked. Now I've got the microphone as well, so I'm with you.
Fantastic.
Great.
Happy day.
Yeah, man.
All
right.
It's so good to meet you guys, man, because Martin...
And you, Shaun.
He talks about you all the time. All the time. My mate PJ and this and that, and I'm going, Shaun, can't come with you this weekend because I'd planned something for us to do, and he'd go, no, I can't come this weekend. I'm going to a toy fair. Do you know what I mean?
So can I ask you firstly, Shaun? We got loads of. Well, you've seen all the posts I open, stuff like that. Who's Billy?
Billy's my daughter.
Billy's your daughter.
Okay. She's my daughter, so that's Martin's granddaughter.
Right.
Awesome.
She's the little one, the youngest one.
Right.
Saying that, the youngest one, she must be nearly 20 now, man.
Thanks for telling me that. I don't want to talk like a 6-year-old.
The thing is, right, I'll tell you this straight. My biological father was rubbish. Totally rubbish. And my mum binned him off and married Martin 40 years ago. So Martin's been my stepdad, my dad, my best friend, my brother in arms, if you like, for 40 years. And I walked into the house while the paramedics were there, and he was sat there on his new sofa, and I thought he was just sleeping, man, but he weren't just sleeping. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it broke my heart.
I bet.
Yeah.
And it was the day of my 60th birthday.
Oh, God.
Because I got a phone call. My phone rang, and it said Mov, because I call her Mov Turner. That's my mum.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's just like you do. It's just my mum phoning to wish you happy birthday, son. Happy 60th, you old git. You know what I mean? Because that's the kind of, that's what she probably would have done.
She's wicked, man. She's wicked. Yeah.
And I answered the phone. I went, hello, Mov.
Yeah.
I answered the phone. I went, hello, Mov, you doing all right? And she went, no, not really. And she just broke down on the phone. And she said, the paramedics are here. Martin's dead. I said, don't be stupid. Of course he's not dead. I only spoke to him yesterday. We was having a laugh, man. The day before, we was having a laugh with my camper van because I was going away to Mablethorpe in my camper van. And she went, no, he is. I said, right, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And I went there. And I said to the missus, I said, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him. But the trouble is, the way their house is laid out, as you know, PJ, as soon as you walk in the door, the living room's right there. And the paramedics were still working on him. So I didn't have a choice whether I saw him or not. And I spent the whole day with him. They didn't take him away until, I think, 5 o'clock at night. They took him away. But I gave him a hug and I gave him a kiss and I held his hand. And I told him that I loved him. And he was the best bloke in the flaming universe, man.
He was.
I think
he did so much for me and my family. You wouldn't believe what he did. when I broke down in the middle of nowhere, I had an old Vauxhall Calibra, and it was a bit knackered, but it got me going, and it broke down. The cam belt snapped, and I thought, shit, what am I going to do? I've got no breakdown cover. What am I going to do? Oh, no, I'll ring Martin. So I rang him up, and he went, don't worry, mate. I'll be there in half hour. And he rocked up in this knackered old Peugeot with a tow rope, and he towed me all the way from Doncaster back to Peterborough, man.
Bloody hell.
And he just did it. He didn't even ask me for petrol money or anything. He just did it. Because he just did. And that's just what he did. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to miss him so much. But I'm really sorry, guys. I know you're having your modelling talk, and I do models too. I do the Airfix models because I got into them. Mostly I did model railways, but that had to come to a halt because I split up with my ex-partner. And I didn't have nowhere for it to go, so it's all in Martin's shed, in boxes. All my railway stuff. I don't know. There must be $5,000 worth of gear in there. And I took up Airfix modelling. And with Martin's help, Martin's been helping me because I'm about to build. I was building the Revel Dambuster Lancaster bomber kit.
Right.
The black one with the bouncing bomb underneath. And Martin was going to help me build it, but obviously I'm just going to have to do it on my own now, innit?
Shaun, if you need help, get in contact.
First off, Shaun,
we're all here.
First off, Shaun, don't be sorry, mate, because all this helps, and we're here to listen and talk to you. Yeah, and it's great that you've joined us tonight. So,
can I make an observation? It may not be Martin's biological son, but I'll tell you what, he's a bloody image of him, isn't he?
Yeah.
To be honest, from where I am sat looking at the narrow upright screen, it's like deja vu.
It's spooky, isn't it?
It could have turned it upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just kind of look alike, I suppose. Except he was a bit more thinning than I am.
We're so grateful that you've trusted us to come and talk.
Have a look at this. Have a look at this, guys. I got this yesterday. See if you remember this. Can you see that?
Yeah. That's the one we were talking about earlier on. That's the one that yeah.
Because I'm a bit of a Star Trek geek. Not a proper. I don't go to comms and dress up as a Ferengi or anything stupid like that. You know what I mean? But I do like Star Trek, and he built that. And I watched the video on his YouTube channel, especially working with the firing mechanism, and he had a real proper job with it.
Yeah.
And I found it. Had one of your fellas, Adam Bruff, he came to the house a couple of days ago, and I found this. We was looking through because my mum said to him, take a model, whichever one you fancy, take it. And he picked a transporter with a couple of Jags on it that Martin had made, a blue transporter with a white Jaguar on the top, and it was a real nice one. And as I was looking through for him, because I'm having, do you know the Christmas school bus? I'm keeping that. I'm not letting anybody take that. I want to keep that one. And I found this in the bottom of the cabinet, and I thought to myself, that's the Star Trek Enterprise that he did. Yeah. And he struggled to do it because it weren't an easy restoration for him. It was a tough one.
Yeah.
And I thought, nobody's having that. Nobody's having that. I'm having that. I'm keeping that. I'm going to keep that forever. And it's probably even worth a few $100. I don't know, but it probably is. I don't care. But I'll keep that forever now.
It's priceless for you, Shaun.
And by the way, the magic roundabout, we found that in his shed, hidden at the back, because it just sort of hid stuff all over it. It's all over it. It was, I don't know, it was like some kind of mad mole or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we found it. We found it, and my nephew's got that, which is Martin's grandson. He said, I want to keep the magic roundabout.
Great.
And I said, of course you can have it. And he's took a Jaguar, an old, I think it's a Mark 10 Jaguar that Martin restored, a blue one, to put on it. So that's where that's gone, which is the most iconic thing about Martin, is that bloody roundabout, man.
Yeah. Well, when we talk about the magic, Shaun, the magic to us was the display table that he put his models on that spun round after he'd done the restoration.
Yeah, the magic roundabout.
Yeah, he used to say, I'm taking off the magic now and we'll put it on the bench. But he also did a full-blown magic roundabout, which I think is what Shaun's talking about. And
It was the reflective silver disc that
oh,
revolved.
it is that
Oh,
one.
is that one? Oh, cool.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay.
It's so you can see the underside.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he did do the magic roundabout from the TV series, didn't he?
Yeah, that should be somewhere.
Yeah.
Tell you one thing, though. He was crap at flying model airplanes, man. He was rubbish. He got too scared. He just got too scared. I could take him off and fly him, and I'd give the box to Martin, and his leg would start shaking like he'd got Parkinson's or something. And he'd fly it around, but then he could land them, because I could never. All I did was crash them. I crashed one into a tree. But he could land them. And it was so funny, and we did that until both of our eyesights was... Because the thing with model airplanes, when they're up in the sky, they're far up in the sky, and you can't tell if they're coming towards you, going away, if they're the right way up or upside down. We used to paint the bottom pink, so we knew which way up they were. Me and Mark, we always did that. We painted the bottom halves pink, so we knew which way up they were. But after a while, both of our eyesight faded. And then he had that burglary in his house, and they took all of his stuff, and we kind of just gave it up, you know what I
mean? We were talking, funnily enough, Shaun, me and Verna were talking about that. Is that when he was working on the boat at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his house got burgled by a load of heroin addicts, and they took they took everything.
They took, Verna said it was about 15 grand's worth of stuff that they lost. And Verna lost her Queen collection. She's a massive Queen fan.
Oh my God. Don't even go there, dude. Queen does my nutting. I was raised Personally, I'm more Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, The Doors. I'm more that kind of man, you know what I mean? Martin, I'll tell you what Martin liked. Martin loved the blues. He loved Robert Johnson, B.B. King, ZZ Top. He was a big ZZ. He had every album ZZ Top ever made. He loved all that kind of bluesy, rocky kind of gear. But I don't think he was impressed by Queen.
As I say, Robert Johnson's a conversation for another night.
Well, he came up, and I just... true story, this is, Shaun. I just recently put an i5 stacker system back together. And
have you got the Marantz graphic?
The graphic equalizer, yeah.
Is it a Marantz one?
No, it's an unbranded. It doesn't say Marantz. No. It looks like a Techniques more than a Marantz.
I remember him buying it.
Yeah, because there was one week I said, because we show everything to his friends, like, and I said, look, I put this back together. The only thing it's missing is a graphic equalizer. And within 2 days, when he was coming up, he said, hang on, don't get anything. I've got a black one that I don't use. It's up in the loft. And anyway, he was coming up to visit, and he brought it, along with some Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin albums, vinyl. And we sat listening to this vinyl. The neighbours must have been so, pissed off. Because we had it.
He loved Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you the story of that graphic equalizer, shall I?
Yeah, by all means, mate.
My mum and Martin was a bit skint. They was a bit skint at the time. It's going back many years. That graphic equalizer is quite old, man. It must be at least 25 years old,
Yeah, absolutely.
and they was broke, struggling to pay the rent. I remember, I'll tell you how bad it was, because Martin used to smoke fags, but he had no backer, so he used to go to the car and get the dog ends out of the ashtray and make himself some roll-ups. That's how skint he was. But he saved up, and he said to me, Shaun, I'm going to build a hi-fi. I'm like, yeah, all right then. Because he did have a really good hi-fi, but something happened to it, and he lost it.
Check
And
your
he said,
loft, mate. Check the loft. It might
he
still
said,
be up there.
I'm going to build a hi-fi. I said, okay. I said, how are you going to do this then? He said, I'm going to buy it one piece at a time. And he went uptown, and there used to be an electronics shop in town called Tandy.
Tandy,
Yeah.
bloody hell, yeah.
Remember Tandy?
Remember Tandy, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he went to Tandy, and he came home, and he went, Shaun, look at this. I've got the first bit of my hi-fi, and it was that graphic equalizer. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I said, but what are you going to plug into that then? He went, well, I don't know yet. He said, but I'll sort that out later. And the thing is, he never, ever finished it, because what he did was he managed to scrape a few quid together, and he bought himself one of them all-in-one stereos, where it was an Amstrad one. Where, do you remember? Oh, you must remember him.
Yeah, I
The
remember
record player was
Amstrad.
vertical.
Mhm.
The record player was vertical, and you used to open like a little door and
Yeah.
put your
Oh yeah, I
record
remember
in.
those.
Yeah.
So he bought one of them, and that graphic equalizer, I'll tell you what make it is. It's Memorex. That's what it is. It's Memorex.
Yeah, possibly so.
Yeah, that's the Tandy Memorex, because Memorex was Tandy's home brand, if you like. And that went in the loft, and he just used this Amstrad one, and that's how he got that. So that is really old. That is a really cool piece of kit, man. Because it was never used. It's brand new.
It made. I'll tell you what I did, Shaun. I put a Techniques. I know we got. Sorry, apologies to people in the chat, but I'm so delighted and honoured that Shaun is here to share some of his stories. And
if you want
equally,
stories,
we can share some stories with him. I put this unit together, and I wanted a reel-to-reel. If you remember the old reel-to-reels, and I've managed to connect one of them as well, and plug it into this hi-fi system. And when I pressed the graphic equalizer, bang! It was like being at Donington. Or, you know, I
can tell you a story about Martin and a reel-to-reel. When he lived for a little while, him and my mum, they was having problems in Peterborough with my dad when they first got together. So we're going back nearly 40 years. And they decided to move away. So they moved to Bridlington. And they took my youngest brother, Lee, with them. And they got jobs. My mum worked in a rock factory. Martin worked in a caravan factory, making caravans. But he drove it was like an Arctic unit, but it weren't a proper lorry, and it just towed caravans around, and he did that. And anyway, one day, my brother, Lee, he went out with Martin, and they got proper drunk, man. Proper drunk. But Martin ended up at home. But Lee didn't. And he's rocking down the road, and he found a skip. And in this skip was a reel-to-reel tape recorder. And he looked at it, and he thought, God, Martin would love that. So he grabbed it out of this skip, and he's rocking off down the road. And the cops came. The cops came and said, where'd you get that from? He goes, well, I found it in that skip down there. And they went, well, that's theft. And he actually got took to court and prosecuted for nicking out of a skip. And it was a reel-to-reel tape recorder that he'd grabbed to give to Martin because Martin wanted a reel-to-reel.
God Christ.
But this is, I mean, we're going back like 30 years, at least 30 years.
Yeah, easy. Alan Michael Sugar, blast from the past.
Yeah, that's where the name comes from. AMS Trading.
Yeah.
PJ.
I always remember the Amstrads being held together with string, glue, and elastic bands. That's what the Amstrad was like.
Mm-hmm.
It was cheap as chips.
And it was a remnant of Sinclair's computer company as well, weren't it?
Yeah.
I remember his first Jaguar. It was silver, and it was an XJ6. Man, this thing was old, and it was literally held together with gaffer tape, man. It was an absolute bag of bolts.
Oh yeah, that's typical British Leyland.
And it failed its MOT. And I was working at the time. I was ever so young. I was only in my 20s. And I was working with this guy that only had one leg. And he was a mechanic. And we did a bit of mechanics work private together. And he said, Shaun, he goes, the Jag's failed its MOT. I'm like, all right, okay. What's it failed on? He said, exhaust blowing. I said, yeah, no worries. I said, we can fix that. He said, right. He said, I've got this new job. He goes, I'm working at the Kango factory where they made the power tools.
Yeah.
And this is when he first met me mum. So it's 40 years ago, because that's where he met me mum, in the Kango. She worked in the factory and he was her manager. And I said to him, I said, yeah, we can fix that. He goes, right. He goes, I'll tell you what. He goes, you put a back box on the Jag. I'm like, yeah. He goes, and I'll get you an angle grinder and a drill. We just sort of went, yeah, all right then. We can use an angle grinder and a drill, you know what I mean? And I'm not even going to ask where he got them from, but we obviously know where he got them from. And yeah, that was when I very, very first met Martin. That knackered old silver Jag, man. He loved that car, but it was absolutely knackered.
Who's the guy from Minder?
Arthur Daly, George Cole.
Arthur Daly. He had got a bit of the Arthur Daly about him, hadn't he, Shaun? You know what I mean?
Mate, he was more Arthur Daly than Arthur Daly was.
Well, Arthur Daly was a Danglers, wasn't it? Not a Jag.
But he did mellow. He did mellow.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't know him obviously in his. I've known him for about 6 or 7 years, and he is without a doubt a true gent. If you've got a definition of what a gent is, he met every bloody.
I'll tell you what he was, PJ.
Criteria, like.
He was a beautiful man.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
Yeah.
He was just a beautiful man. Everybody was his best friend.
Yeah.
Everybody. And he made everybody. He was a bit odd because some people, when he met them, he'd say to me, he'd go, Shaun, don't like him. Within 30 minutes. And that was it. He would never speak to him again. If he did like you, he loved you. But if he didn't, you knew he'd just bend you off, man.
We've told some stories, but if anybody approached him, he got time for everybody. You know, he didn't turn his back or say, you know, oh, send me an email. No, he got time for everybody. That because I said to you earlier on, we had each other in tears. To be fair, when we were talking earlier on, but people know him just by his voice, Shaun. You know.
I know. I watched your video about how he was at the fair, the toy fair, and somebody said, "Are you Martin Dare?" And I can't believe. I mean, he was my dad, wasn't he? And he was my best mate. Yeah. But I can't believe how famous he was. I knew he'd got this YouTube channel, and I used to say to him, "Oh, Martin, how's the YouTube channel going?" And he'd go, "Yeah, I've got 3,000 subscribers or whatever." And to me, that meant nothing, to be honest.
Yeah.
But to him, it was his whole world. He spent more time in that shed. Every time I'd go around there, I'd go, "Hello, Mov, where's Martin?" "Oh, he's up in the shed." "Well, of course he's up in the shed. He's always in the bleeding shed." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he taught me a lot.
Between them, I mean, he told me, Werner told me a story where they'd met Martin's mum. This is going back some years. And his mum thought they were falling out because of how they talked to each other.
Yeah, they did that.
That's how they were. Yeah. That's how they were.
I know. I used to go, "Shut up. What you doing? What are you doing, woman?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she'd go, "Oh, behave yourself. It's just Martin." And I just knew it was just Martin. It was just his sense. He had this mad sense of humour, man. It was really cool. I mean, I loved him to bits. I loved him totally to bits.
Yeah.
I cry every single day. And I'm a 60-year-old man, but I don't mind admitting I still cry every single day. Because
Yeah.
I
Do you know
was
what,
there.
Shaun? Do you know what, Shaun?
I found him on the sofa with my mum. His new
Shaun,
sofa.
what's really weird is we've had a few get-togethers, and a couple of the guys have said it, and I thought it myself. We got together the other night, and it's like you're sitting there thinking, well, when's Marty going to join? And we're talking about it. You know, it just don't seem real at the moment.
The empty hole.
Yeah.
Mate, I was round my mum's the other day, and she said to me, she said, do me a favour. She goes, there's all these parcels here that Martin's packaged up, but he hasn't sent. Will you send them? So I went, yeah, all right. So we picked them up. There was 2 for Australia and 1 for, I think, Hammersmith. So we went up to the post office, put them into the post office, and we got back to the house. And I was in the kitchen with my mum, just having a fag and just chatting. And I swear on my life, I heard him shout from the living room. I heard his voice. And I said to my mum, I said, and then I realised, well, it can't be Martin. It can't be. But I swear I could hear his voice, man.
Yeah. I was watching I'm so pleased or thankful for the pictures that Phil did.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Sending out. I've got one up behind me, and he's over my shoulder. And I sat there talking to him last night, and I said, "Have you seen this movie? I'm going to watch this tonight. What do you think?" Like, I'm talking over my shoulder to him, like, and I've got his space next to it. It's just, I can't put it into words, Shaun. And I think it's took the family back a bit now. Now realizing the enormity of support from all over the world that he's had. You know, it's not just us as a tight knit group, because there's a lot of supporters and followers that he's got on YouTube that are not a part of our group.
I'm not sure if you were about the other night as well, Shaun. One of the things I was going to say, and this is something to bear in mind, he may have had X thousand subscribers, but what you got to bear in mind is there would have been 10 times that amount that watch these videos but never subscribe, because the way that works is everybody thinks subscription is going to cost you money, but they would watch the videos anyway. So it's, you know, his coverage was much bigger than the numbers.
That's my granddaughter. Sorry, that's my daughter. That's Martin's granddaughter. I didn't know he was this famous. I thought it was just his YouTube channel. Do you know what I mean? That's what I thought. But I've been watching on YouTube, and there's people from America, Australia, Hungary, every corner of the globe, and they're all in tears because Martin's passed away.
Yep.
And I knew he was good at what he did. I'll give you that, because as PJ will tell you, in my mum's dining room, there is cabinet after cabinet after cabinet, and they're all full. And I said to him, I said, why don't you just put them on eBay and flog them? And he went, oh, no, I ain't doing that. He goes, I'll just buy another cabinet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's all he did. He just bought another cabinet and filled that up.
I think that's a brilliant quote from Billy. Hi, Billy. Bless you. Thank you for joining us, mate. I gave Gramps his first camera to start the channel with. He was moaning when they added adverts to his videos, but I told him that means he's famous. And you're absolutely spot on, Billy. Because Martin never monetarized his channel. He never asked anybody for help. He never asked anybody for. He didn't want to have adverts on his channel. He just wanted to get it out there and do it.
That's one thing he said to me. Because I said to him, I said, why don't... I said, look, I said, you got all these followers. I said, you can make a few quid from this. And he went, no, I don't want to. He said, I don't want to do that. He said, I just want to,
yeah.
basically, I just want to do what I'm doing. And I don't want adverts on my channel. He said, I know they'll put the ones on there for the people that don't pay. And every now and again it'll put, but you can't get away with it. There's nothing you can do to stop that. He said, but I don't want monetized adverts on my channel. He said, I don't want to do that. And he never did.
You can tell how well he was thought of, Shaun, by the measure that, you know, a lot of us have to go onto eBay and buy models and what have you. Martin never had to do that because he had that much support from folks, and you've seen the parcels he's received. You know,
All week.
they came up.
I
They
mean,
came from all over the world, like, and he'd be so grateful.
he passed away last week, a week ago today. And all through the week, the postman's, I've been there with my mum every day because my mum's in bits. I know she acts all proper tough and strong and all that, but she ain't. She's a little 78-year-old woman and she's in bits and she won't eat no food. So I've been going around there cooking her dinner and making sure she's okay. Every day I've done that. And every day the postman's knocked on the door with another bloody box. And she sent me to the post office and she went, Shaun, go to the post office, buy me a book of stamps so I can put on all of these boxes, return to sender, and she's paying the postage to send them back. And we don't know who they're from. They could be from you. They could be from anybody. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she won't open them because it'd break her heart to open them.
We're gonna help Shaun.
Yep. Anything you need, Shaun.
Family permitting. I will stress that family permitting, because anything that we offer to do will be passed through Shaun, Michelle, Werner. You know, we don't want to go down to Martin's house and without their. We're just there to offer support. We're going down next Sunday.
Michelle's my missus. We're going to get married this summer, and Martin was going to be my best man, but my brother's going to be my best man now, so that's just the way it goes. Billy's my daughter, so she's one of Martin's granddaughters, and I used to take the piss out of him because I said to him, I said, Jesus Christ, Martin. He goes to me, he goes, because it's just turned up last week. I bought another shed. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, I bought another shed. I said, mate, your garden already looks like a bleeding industrial estate. If the council catches, they're going to do you, man. And he goes, no, it's all right. He goes, look at that big tree. He goes, I'm not letting them chop that down. And while ever that tree's there, they can't see it. And he's already got 4 sheds, and there's another one just got delivered. That'll be shed number 5.
Good Lord. Because he said
the amount of Airfix kits, model railway stuff, you just wouldn't believe the stuff that he's got.
Some of that Airfix stuff is my dad's.
I know.
Yeah. We've got that. We've got
Yeah,
that.
we've got some of that in hand, haven't we?
We've got that covered for you, Michelle.
Yeah, because Michelle's dad passed away about
9 months ago.
9 months ago,
Yeah.
and Martin, he was a big Airfix man, like Moz.
Yeah.
So he was a big Airfix man, and there was loads of stuff, and he took it all and said, don't worry, I'll sort this for you. I'll know the people and the contacts. He goes, I'll make sure it all gets sold. And obviously some of it is sold, but there's still some that he hasn't sold.
I don't want to get things have been shared. Forgive me for saying this. Some things have been shared that are private amongst us and the family. But Moz is going to come up that you already know about, Shaun. So it won't be a surprise, and he'll talk to Michelle about the Airfix stuff. So we've got that covered for you. Don't
I'd
worry.
like to meet Moz.
He's a real good guy.
I'd like to meet him because I know you guys, you do the diecast stuff that Martin did. which is not really my. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the models he's made are absolutely beautiful. They are stunning beyond belief. I think some of them are better than when they came out of the factory. But
Easily.
my thing is airfix kits. I love building World War II aircraft.
Yeah.
Martin helped me. I've got loads of models up there that I haven't built yet.
Yeah.
And I'd like to speak to Moz because that's his bag, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you've got Gary who's online with us now. Who's
Is he an airfix modeler too?
Yeah, and me.
I'm plastic, yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm
me.
not a lot plastic.
We've also got JB, John Bennett, in the chat, who lives near me, who's offered to give you any support that any advice that you might want about airfix builds.
I mean, I love building airfix kits. Martin helped me build one, and it was a P51 Mustang, the red-tailed.
Yep.
And it came out. I followed his advice and I built it, and it came out absolutely stunning.
You talk about that one, Shaun?
Pardon?
You talk about that one?
Yes, mate.
I'm building that myself at the moment for my model
club. It's a beautiful kit. And when it's finished, it just looks mad. It looks great. And I put it on a Facebook group, and everybody complimented me on how good it looked. And I felt really chuffed. Do you know what I mean? But to be fair, it weren't just me. It was Martin. Martin helped me do everything.
But Bill is asking, is there a way to stop YouTube taking his channel down? It's nice to have the videos to look back. You're singing off the same hymn sheet, Billy, as the rest.
We were talking about that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's being looked into.
I've made
inquiries
with Shaun and Michelle and Verna. We'll talk about it on Sunday. I'm desperate to ensure that we become, if it's an agreement with the family, curators of his channel, so that we can look after it and make sure that, because it's a library, it's something you can go back to and see how to do things. So we're all over that, my friend. Please pass that on, Shaun, to Billy. I don't want people being worried that whatever else we can.
What is a good thing is there's people that are just going to start the hobby now that we don't know. They're just going to start the hobby, and what they're going to do is they're going to go, right, I've got this knackered old model. How am I going to fix it? I know. I'll go on YouTube, and they're going to find Martin.
Martin, yes.
And he's going to teach them, even though he's not with us anymore. He's still going to teach them how to fix the windows, how to replace the tires, and drill the rivets out, and just do all the stuff that they need to learn.
Yeah,
and
we said all that.
I don't know whether
for everybody to see.
I don't know whether, Shaun, it was yourself or Adam that posted. There'll be no further posts on this channel. The only post that we're concerned about is posting that there's going to be a Martin Dare tribute build.
Yeah.
You know, and keeping his channel alive. So please assure Billy that whatever we can do will ensure that channel stays live
on,
for as long as there's one of us here.
Bill's listening to you right now. I know she is. Because she messaged me earlier and she went, what's the link for Gramps' page thing that they're talking about him?
Yeah.
So I know she's listening.
He's like, he was he was 7 years older than me. Me and Shaun are pretty much the same age. So, but I looked at him as a second. He's only 7 years older, but I looked like he was like a second dad to me. You know, there's only that small difference, but he's become so integral to me and my family. My mum was in pieces, and she doesn't even know him, but she knows how much he meant.
He was only 8 years older than me.
Yeah.
My mum was 10 years older than him. Do you want me to tell you a funny story? Do you want a story? Another one?
Go
Whatever
ahead.
you want to tell, mate, by all means.
Right. We're going back about 36, 37 years. So my mum and Martin had been together for maybe 1 or 2 years. And he told her, because my mum's 10 years older than Martin, but she didn't notice. And he made out that he was only, I think, 2 years younger than her. Um, and he kept this lie up for about 2 years, man. And one day, me and my brother was round the house. We went to visit my mum, and Martin had left his birth certificate on the side. So we, like you do, we're like, oh, what's this? We opened it up and we looked and we went, hello, look at this date of birth. And we went into my mum and we went, Mum, do you know he's 10 years younger than you? And she went, no, he's not. I said, yeah, he is. Look, there's the birth certificate. And she went, oh, no, that must be wrong. That must be wrong. I'm like, Mother, it's a bloody birth certificate. It's not going to be wrong, is it? And in the end, he admitted. She said to him, she said, what's all this then? And he admitted that he was 10 years younger than her, but he didn't want to tell her because he thought she wouldn't go out with him and he didn't want to lose her. So he just lied. And he pretended that he was older than he really was. And that's, yeah.
I didn't know.
So he's only 8 years older than me, man.
Yeah. I think it's great to find. I mean, he shared so much, but it's great to have it from another point of view. You know, some of the stories that we don't know, which is
Yeah, you didn't know that one, did you?
I'm grateful that you've shared them, Shaun.
God, I miss him, PJ.
I know.
I really do.
I know.
I think about him every minute of every day. Even when I went to work, I work for the council. I drive a tractor for the council. And I went to work the other day, and my mate goes, are you all right? Because at work, they call me Trigger. That's my nickname, Trigger. Don't even ask. He goes, you all right, Trig? And I went, yeah, I am. And then I looked at him and I went, no, I'm not actually. And I just broke down in tears in the council depot.
Yeah.
And I've got this mate called Dan, and he's a proper big lad. I mean, he's 6'6", built like the side of a fucking house. Do you know what I mean? And he just grabbed hold of me, and he just squeezed me, and he went, "You'll be all right, son, because I've got you." And that helped me a little bit. But I'm struggling, just with day-to-day things, because I just think, and I can hear him and I can see him. It's in my head all the time.
It don't seem possible, Shaun, that he ain't going to sort of stick his head in and say hello.
Yeah, because he weren't even poorly, man.
No.
He weren't poorly, he weren't ill, he never got a cold, he never got flu, he never got nothing. The guy was fucking bulletproof. And then one day, he just woke up dead. Do you know what I mean?
We haven't met yet, mate. But we're here for you, buddy. We are here for you, and so's the rest of not just us. You know, all the subscribers has got.
I know this is why I wanted to meet you guys. Like I said to PJ on the telephone this afternoon, I wanted to meet you guys because I wanted you to have a little bit of an insight into a different part of Martin's life.
Yeah.
Not just the modelling side, but what he was really like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll tell you one thing, Martin, he was a hard man. He was a hard man. He grew up on the terraces at West Ham and he knew how to fight. And if you mess with him, I'll tell you what, mate, he would knock you apart in a second.
As I said, I'm an Arsenal supporter. I know what West Ham are like. I ended up in East Ham back in the 80s with a mate. We went to East Ham. We made a mistake. West Ham were playing Millwall and they were fighting on top of double-decker buses.
Probably Martin was even there.
Probably.
He used to love a ruck. There was that day I told PJ about we went to Adam's birthday party, and we got drunk as skunks, man. And we had to walk home, and it was about a quarter of a mile walk, well, probably more, half a mile walk home. And halfway there, we found this lorry, and it was some fella. It was a 40-tonner with a trailer, and he pulled his curtains round, and he was kipping. He was going to sleep, but it had Park Farms pork pies written on the door. So Martin decided he wanted a pork pie. So he went up to this lorry, right, and he started beating the crap out of this door. I'm like, "What you doing, man?" He goes, "I want a pork pie." I said, "Well, he ain't going to give you a pork pie, is he? He's kipping." I said, "Do you know what I mean? He's got a lorry full. It's probably full of pasties and stuff, but he's not going to give you nothing." "I want a pork pie." Bam! And he started beating the crap out of this door. And in the end, me and Kane's his youngest, we dragged him away going, "Martin, sort your shit out, man. You're pissed out your head. You're
Things
pissed
we
out
do
your
when
head,
we're
and you're
pissed.
not going to get a pork pie."
Because you've got 5 brothers, haven't you, Shaun? There's three step brothers and 3 of Martin's sons.
There's me, Glenn, and Lee, which are Vernon's sons.
Yeah,
So we're Martin's stepchildren. And then there's Matthew, Adam, and Kane, which are Martin's boys,
yeah.
and they're our stepbrothers. But to be honest, we don't think of each other as stepbrothers.
No, absolutely, mate.
Not after 40 years. I mean, Adam and Kane and Matthew, they're just my brothers. Do you know what I mean? They're just
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
In fact, some of
Is it right? You've got 20. Martin had 28 grandchildren.
oh God, at least. And apparently, since he passed away, my eldest boy, Gavin, who is now 42, he disappeared years ago and nobody knew where he'd gone. And my mum was a bit upset. But he appeared this week out
Yeah.
of the woodwork and told me mum that he's got 4 little girls that we didn't even know they existed up until about 2 days ago.
Wow.
So that's 32 grandchildren.
Yeah, but he loved every single one of them.
Absolutely, he did.
Mm.
God damn, he did.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And as for dogs, don't even get me started with dogs, man. Jesus Christ. He
Well,
worked.
every Friday, we'd go around the house. We'd go around everybody. What you been doing this week? How's your wife? How's your girlfriend? How's your partner? How's the pets? And he'd made a massive, talk about Duron. You know him as we call him as Duron because it was Duron
I
Ron
call him
until
Ronnie Craig because he keeps nicking my mum's flip flop. Well, I call him Ronnie Craig because if he can grab it, he'll nick it.
yeah, and he
And then
wasn't
he
he
runs
wasn't
around the
happy
garden
about
slinging it up. He's mad. He's mad as a box of frogs, mate.
Ron wasn't happy about the new sofa. And Martin said he's got bloody stuck under the mechanism, like I can't get him out, and all this kind of thing. Like,
Have you met him yet, PJ?
no.
Oh,
no.
you will do. You will do. He's literally mad as a box of frogs, mate. He really is. God, he's such a handful. But Martin could control him. Martin could keep him in control. My mother can't. He just runs riot, man. And then there's Tilly, but Tilly's going to pass away soon.
Yeah, I
And
mean, Verna. I hope
she
you don't
nearly
mind.
nearly passed away
Yeah,
the
I
same
hope you
day as
don't mind me
Martin.
sharing stories, Shaun. Verna contacted me. I think it was the day after that we'd lost Martin.
And she said about Tilly. Tilly nearly died.
She'd had a
3.
stroke. She'd had a stroke. And,
Yeah, she had 3 within an hour and a half
and Verna says,
on the new sofa.
Yeah. Says, PJ, I can't lose 2. I don't know. But your mum knows. She's now become, she has been and is one of my best friends, like. And she knows
My
that
mum.
she could talk to me Well, she says it's refreshing to have somebody to talk to, you know, out.
My mum
Don't
is
be
a
this
different.
harshly.
My mum is a different kind of entity. She just is. She's from Wakefield. A spade is a spade,
Yeah,
and if she don't like you, she'll just tell you to bugger off. Simple
she
as that.
will.
But if
It's
she does like you,
generational. It's generational, though, Shaun. They cope with things. They built them differently.
well, she was born. She was born just after the war.
Yeah.
1947, Mum was born. Just after the war. She'd never seen a black man. Do you know what I mean? And it freaked her out the first time she saw. She tells me stories, man, and it just makes me laugh
I
about
mean,
the
she was
way
taught,
her life used to be. But she was only 17 when she had me,
right.
and yeah, she's
She
just
taught,
she's
she
grown up
taught,
in a different world, man.
like I totally agree with Brian. They're a totally different generation of people.
Yeah.
You know,
But she is lovely. Don't
Yeah,
get me
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah,
yes,
my mum and dad were, but they coped. Whatever you put in front of them, they dealt with it. Not like today.
My missus had to, because Martin's tablet kept pinging. And she said to Michelle, my missus, it keeps pinging and I don't know what I'm going to do about it. And Michelle went, it's all right, we'll sort it out. So Michelle, because she's a bit more clued up, obviously, my missus, and she opened the tablet. And that's when my mum found all the videos and things because she didn't know. She didn't know because she didn't know how to do it. But now Michelle's teached her not fully how to work it, but mostly. We still can't get into his phone though because he put it on a fingerprint.
we'll sort that out, mate. I've got some details that I can share. I'm not going to do it now, obviously online, but
I think my mum's going to go to the 3 shop and see if they can fix it, but I don't know.
I've got some. Hold on till next weekend, Shaun. I've got some details that I might be able to help you out with, because I helped sort Martin out with setting up some of his accounts and passwords, that kind of thing. So
Yeah, but you ain't got
I'll
his
find it.
fingerprint, mate.
My phone is just passwords.
It's
Some companies
I'm
bypass the
grateful.
fingerprints.
I'm grateful to Michelle for helping out as well. So if you we'll have a Shaun, Michelle, we'll have a chat offline.
I'll tell you how cool he was, right? We had a caravan at the caravan site, same place as my mum did. And we was struggling to pay the rent, the site rent.
This is in Mablethorpe, isn't it, mate?
Mablethorpe, yeah. So I
Yeah.
said to him, I said to Martin, I said, look, mate, I said, I can't keep it going no longer. I just can't. I'm going to have to sell it. We paid 15 grand for that caravan. They gave me 2,600 quid when I sold it. So I got robbed. But we decided we wanted a camper van instead. So me and Michelle can go on adventures because we took up fishing as a hobby. So we're going to go on adventures doing fishing. And I found this camper van online and it was a really nice one. I mean, it was quite old. It was an old Talbot, but it was really nice. And I showed it to Martin and he went, yeah, he goes, that looks all right, doesn't it? I said, yeah. I said, but it's on eBay and I don't think I'm going to get it because it's going to sell before I get my money from the caravan. And he went, don't worry about it. Leave it with me. He said, when we're going to go and look at it. And this was the weekend before he died. So not last weekend, the weekend before. And I said, all right then. I said, right, we've got to go to Leicester to see this fella and sort out this camper van. So we're off we rocked. Martin drove. Me, my mum, Michelle. We drove off to Leicester and we looked at this camper van. And I said to Martin, I said, what do you think then? He said, it's great, isn't it? He said, it's in really good nick. It's a 1993. He said, but it's not rusty. And underneath, he said, there's no rust. It's been treated. He said, I said, I wanted you to come because you know about caravans and engines and I don't. And he went, no worries. And he goes, are you going to have it? I said, well, yeah, I would like it, but I haven't got the money from the caravan. I've only got, it was $4,000. I said, I've only got $1,000. And he went, oh, don't worry about that. And he put his hand in his pocket and he pulled out. He went, there you go. 3,000 quid. He said, when you sell your caravan and the money comes through from your caravan, just give me it back. He said, because I don't want you to lose this. It's too good to lose. And I managed to buy my camper van. And if it hadn't been for Martin, we wouldn't have our camper van. Do you know what I mean? We just wouldn't have it. But he did that. Just like that, man. Never even batted an eyelid.
Well, something else we can touch base on as well, Shaun, because PJ and I fish. So there's another little tenuous thing, and I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to disappear, boys. So, Shaun, been a pleasure to see you, mate. I wish it had been under nicer circumstances, mate. But hopefully, from all this stuff that you've seen, you'll realise how much he was appreciated and loved.
I do, actually. I really do.
Cool. All right, mate.
Hopefully
see you next weekend.
Yeah, you'll have to come to a tavern, Shaun, and we'll have a chat there. I've got to take my dog out now, so I'll catch you all later as well.
Good night, boys. Thanks everyone in the chat for all the support tonight, and catch you next time.
Take care, Bryan. Take care, Phil. We'll see you soon, boys. Thanks a lot, mate, for the supports.
I'm driving them away.
No,
Sorry.
you're not. No, you're not.
You're not,
No,
Phil.
you're not. Don't think that. Don't think that. But Brian's right. I'm big into my fishing. If you want to go fishing, mate, I'll go with you.
I love fishing. Me and Smurf just took it up as a hobby, and I asked Martin to help me start, because if you notice on YouTube, I'm called Smurfy's Fishing Adventures.
Right.
And I was going to start a YouTube channel, because I call her Smurfy because she's 4'9", and she absolutely loves fishing. And we've only just started. I bought some stuff off Amazon, so we've only just started. But she absolutely loves it. And I thought, why don't I do... It was Martin that inspired me, if you like. And I thought, why can't I do a fishing channel for older people, especially women, that think fishing's just for blokes? Because it ain't. It's just for fishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But and I asked him to help me with it, but obviously we never got a chance to do it.
We can do that. We can do that. I'll help you out as much as I can.
No, I don't want to do it now.
Oh, that's fair.
I don't want the YouTube channel without Martin. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I just want to go fishing with Smurf in our camper van. What we're going to do is we found a site called pitchup.com, and you can book sites, and we're just going to tour the country and go fishing. That's what we're going to do in our camper van. That was our plan now.
That was a plan that I had not many years ago. You know, Matt Hayes and Mick Brown, where they do the rod race. They go around in a camper van and stop at places. And I thought
that's what we're going to do.
That. Yeah. So hats off to you, mate, for doing that.
She likes a fella called Fishing with Carl.
Yeah, I know Fishing with Carl.
Yeah.
He had a brother that when they first started, he had a brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to. Oh, crikey! We've got so much in common; it's unreal.
You got another one there, PJ. Then.
Yeah.
So that's our plan.
All right.
That's our plan. And if it hadn't been for Martin, we wouldn't even have it.
We've far surpassed our 2 hours, but I am.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
sorry,
please,
not your problem, Shaun.
Please don't say sorry, because the fact that we've heard from.
I just wanted you to know what he was like besides modelling.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was to the fact. I mean, he was Superman.
Yeah. Well, you know that you've, for what it's worth, you've got Azira's support, mate. You know, if you ever want to chat, you ever want to talk.
Yeah, thank you.
You've come to realise now how big Martin Dare was. You know, you and the family. Not just to us, but to an amazing community and subscribership that Martin had. We'll be in touch with the family. We'll help
PJ,
support them whichever way we can.
I just wanted to say before I go, PJ, thank you for all you've done for me mum.
It's
My mum's struggling. She is struggling.
Yeah, it's not just me, mate.
She's lost her life partner.
Yeah.
But I've seen her. I've been there when she was talking to you on the telephone. And I know it means a lot to her, man. And the fact that you're supporting my mum means a lot to me too. I mean, I don't know you. I've never met you. But
we will do.
Obviously, a decent fella.
We will do. We'll get together. I'll see you next weekend. And,
yeah, man.
Oh shit!
Don't cry, son.
No
You'll
worries,
set me
PJ.
off.
Well,
Set me off, man.
It's been from. I can't compare with the family, but it's been a fucking tough week to get through this week, and I can't thank people enough on behalf of me, the DSMC, behalf of Shaun, Werner, Michelle, Poppy, Billy, the rest of the family. What you guys have offered in ways of supporting our channel, supporting my channel, supporting Martin's channel, the donations you made already.
Subscribe to all your channels, man.
Yeah. To people
because
that we
you were
don't know
Martin's
that
friends.
put videos up. It's a massive thank you from us all. I don't know what else to say. You run out of superlatives, you run out of words, you run out of thanks.
All we need to say is he was a beautiful person and we all loved him dearly. And I think that'll do the job, won't it?
Touche, my friend. Well said. Well said.
That's how I look at it. I'll miss him every single day.
On behalf of Gary, Shaun, Phil, Bryan, everybody else that's joined us, we wish you a good night. Look after your families, look after your friends.
Yeah.
And we'll see
you. Too, man.
We'll see you in a fortnight with another live chat. Thank you. Bless you. Yeah. This is PJ signing off.
Take care, guys.
Take care. Thank you, Gary. And we'll see you soon.